Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Gregtech Community Edition Modern. Told you I'd make a lounge. Now, the only problem we have is there's a guy upstairs that heard I was going to make a lounge. Gotta keep it secret. Don't want him bringing any animals down here. Tisk, tisk. We're going to have to find a way to make it so we can, like, not have him in our base every 2 seconds. Now, courtesy of recording not starting and me not realizing it, I have started some stuff for today's episode. Last episode we got our polyurethane, or polyethylene, not polyurethane, polyethylene up and running to get ourselves a lot of these plastic circuit boards. Now, this episode we're going to get to doing some of the other stuff that we need to get into using those circuit boards for actual things. So I got another gas turbine, and I did end up making an assembler again because that recording didn't start. And I sat here talking to myself, like usual. We do also need to get some of this vanadium steel going. And I wanted to see where we're at on power, because we keep running out of power with it not getting enough steam to keep running this medium voltage thing here. We should be able to get a decent chunk of stuff with that. I do actually want quite a bit of it, as it's also good tool material, and I'm probably going to have to start refreshing all of the tools in my backpack for different things pretty soon. These, the hammer, the wrench, tend to go pretty fast. The wire cutters, the file, not so much anymore, but we'll see about that in the future. I don't know how much it'll be going. But then the other thing, we're going to need a new drill head pretty soon for two reasons. One, we're still using the LV battery, and that's just not going to cut it for any kind of manual mining that I do. And then on top of that, the drill head's almost dead as well. So I'm going to have to replace the battery. I'm going to have to replace the other thing in it. But we'll get our very first ingot here out in a second. I did get some more manganese in here. So I actually got quite a bit. If I look in my backpack, almost at a full stack of this low voltage wire, which will be great. Especially if we can slowly wean ourselves off of the low voltage turbines and stuff. We can just pipe energy out from the transformers into the different machines we need it to. Now, the reason I wanted to get this assembler online is if we get this online, we're going to be able to, let's go ahead and come down here, see where this resides. Where is this? Right over by my chest, which is actually pretty good because that's, I don't want it there, I want it there. So we'll do that. Now, this gas turbine can be set up, and we're going to probably put it right up. Can I just move it over to the... I can't move it over the wall right now. Since when did you get down there, punk? Probably do something along the lines of that for now, setting our assembler right on top. And as you see, we can now make a jetpack. That's going to be pretty exciting to get into. It also gives us closer to our MV energy hatch that we want to get the better processing over there. Now, on top of that, we do need to look at getting an advanced cutter and a laser engraver, which is the whole reason that we were looking at making this vanadium steel, which we are really close to getting that last one I think we need. Yeah, one more, and then we need to make a saw blade with it, because that is what the last thing that I need with the vanadium steel. So to make that, we can put it in a lathe with steel gear, which I don't know if we can actually, we can with our metal molding, but we need 8. If we had the extruder already, we could just extrude it out. So I guess we're gonna have to wait a second for that. So we'll just wait for the 8 of them. as that won't be too much of a problem resource-wise. We can make the other parts that we do need, because we do need to make a laser engraver. And then we can get another bat box batched up really quick as well. So, not over here, because all of our copper is over at the other place. So we need 2 copper per coil, and we need 4. That is a total of 8. 8 more wires going on in there. Let's go ahead and batch those up. I guess that was enough to make it a full thing. In the meantime, let's go ahead and make some of these capacitors using some thin polyurethane sheets and some aluminum foil in our assembler. So we got some aluminum foil. We can pop in a couple of those and then do that there. Oh, we need the other assembler. It's a really good thing we made that other assembler then. Make 1 more of these sheets. And let's go on over and make our boom, boom, and then 1. No. No, just energy. Dirt. Pipe, 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 pipe. Can't do any of those. Again, bronze pipes will do just fine. If we make pipe out of this, can we make pipe out of this? No, not there. I guess we can't even make pipe out of this. I thought we could. What other pipes are we using? You're using potin, but I think I'm out of potin. I thought I had some more. Oh, they're all right there in my face, you know. That would be a thing to use. Just make them all into small pipes, as we are using them to pipe out fuel around rather than anything else. And I can actually use that to replace the benzene pipe right here. And then as I'm going to come down, I do want to grab out the wrench. And 1, 2. You know, not happy about that, but whatever. And then we can pipe it up, and that will now provide that with power. And now we're going to start making those capacitors. I think we're a little bit closer here now. We've got 4. We got 1 more needed, and that's almost... we're almost there. Really, really close. And then we can take our big gear mold, stuff it on in there. And there we go. And toss it on in. It's a decent chunk of time, 28 seconds for 1 gear. And once that's done, we pop it on the lathe, and we can make our saw. Which the reason we needed the saw, and we have to get this silicon with gallium, and that required a number 2 as well. So let's go grab a ton of silicone. Do I have any in here? It's not in here. It is in the other chest. And this is why I want a storage system set up, because I kind of do have 2 chests for a lot of different things. And then we need how much gallium? It said 1? There's our gallium. Let's pull that out. Put our silicon and gallium in there so we can get that going. That will get our vanadium out. Put it on the lathe to make our... Oh boy. Vanadium saw blade. Might as well just make it into plates. Should have done that to begin with. How much is that going to take? That's going to take a long time. So we'll let that go. One. Can I do anything to recycle this now? I can grind it. That's not going to help me. I can scrap it. We're going to scrap it because I don't want to wait for that long to get that out if I'm going to be able to show all the stuff that we're doing with this stuff in one episode. So we'll take 4 of these over and we'll make 1, 2, 3, 4 plates. We need out a bunch of different tools to make that saw blade. We need the hammer, the saw, the wire cutters, and the file. So we got hammer. Hammer and saw are not out. The hammer, saw, file, and wire cutters. And the vanadium steel plates. Make the buzzsaw. All of those tools back on in, and now we should be able to make ourselves the advanced cutter. And in the meantime, we can also grab our advanced laser engraver as well. So plop those down on over here, as they will be needed in succession. It looks like we're out of our polyurethane right now, so let's go ahead and pump some more in. But as you can see, we got our very first capacitors. What was the next thing that it wanted us to get? We got to get to the transistors. Got it. And that's where we need silicon plates. And silicon plates come from silicon ingots. And silicon ingots, we need a vacuum freezer. That's why I believe we need our Canthal. Is that right? We're going to use the chemical bath first. I didn't even know you could do that. Pretty cool, though. We are going to need a medium voltage one, though. And I don't think we do anything with building a vacuum freezer yet, do we? Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a vacuum freezer anywhere here. We just got the Canthal coils. So it does want us to build a... First, because that's the only way you can make it, is with the silicon plate. Unless there's a way to liquefy it before... It doesn't look like there's a way to liquefy it either, so that's pretty darn interesting. So, now we might be closer to getting that done. Not even. How close? Yeah, we're going to be a second. So we'll let those go. Because in the meantime, we do need a couple more things. So, we've got the cutter. We can take the lubricant. We got to wait for this to get exactly what we need here. But laser engrave the saw. We'll go with saw. The MV cutter required to cut Silicon Boules to prepare them for the laser engraving. We recommend you supplying this machine with steady stream of lubricant to cut down on the processing time. We'll grab out one of those so that we can get it done. The lubricant can be brewed from oil and talc, soapstone, or redstone. So we'll have plenty of ways to do that, as I am getting talc as we are currently processing canite, as it gives us aluminum dust when it gets processed. So we will go ahead and toss that on in there, so that is ready for the boule to come out. let's go ahead and sleep again. Get rid of this rain, as it can't. I don't know why it loves to keep raining every single time that we go to record. It's almost one of those things I'd rather just like set a command thing that goes off every so often to turn the rain off, but what were we looking for? We were looking for something. Ow! We're going to start looking at this, because I need to look at what we need. We need a blue sapphire lens. So to make that, we either need sapphire plates in a lathe, or we get a exquisite sapphire. Which, I can look at getting that. I didn't actually plan on any of that. Do we have any sapphire? Or... we have a sapphire. So... where would I go to get that? Do I have any? Right there. Alright, guys. We're going to speedrun this, doing a big note. As I know exactly how we're going to get there quickly. We're going to put this in our offhand. We're going to go over there. Whee. If I had realized that I would have needed the sapphire, I would have gone and done that beforehand. What does it take to make an MV lathe? Am I just like doing this and I could just make a lathe? MV lathe. It's the circuits. It's the pain in the butt right now. So yes, we're going to go and try to speedrun getting ourselves some sapphire. Well, there's some rock salt. That's not what we want. Don't want to worry about digging straight down. Do a side sweep. Guess I can just dig right there. That works. I did end up setting ourselves up a sifter, so we can get the sifting going. I know it's a chance. I just don't remember how rare of a chance it is. I guess I could look that up, but I don't think we have enough sapphire to make even the plates, even if I made the lathe. Is the other problem that we've got. And if I don't even have the stuff to make the plates, like, it doesn't do us any good. I forgot, I can totally turn this thing on and say... click directly on a toggle waypoint. Yeah, we're almost there. It's a nifty thing to be able to do when you have that, instead of having to search. Okay, well, I want the sapphire, so we're going to keep going. And later on, we'll bring our green sapphire. We need the blue one. There is one right there. I have torches on me. What would I do? I'm so glad I realized I just don't have the inventory space for all of this. Keep the silicone, toss the gravel. There is the green one. So now we can go through, pick up all of those. But it's the blue ones that we need the most, so we're going to just keep seeing if we can find as many blue ones on this charge of this drill. And this is why I love these drills, is it's just so quick to get through all of the materials. Like, as nice as it is to have that digital miner, it just doesn't cut it getting through the materials as fast as you need it to. But it looks like we are out of space for the red ones, so we get more space there. Oh boy. That went fast. And we've already almost drained the battery, so that's good. We're on our way back to let this go ahead and sit in the crusher and then the ore washer. Some more red. Looks like we've got all of that stuff off the ground, and we will let that go. And up we build, and I'll just have to pipe it down directly on top of the vein here when we go to pipe it, because that is something that you can do with that. It's a 17 by 17, so it's not very big. It's only an additional, what, 8 in each direction? 8? Yeah, on top of that original block. So it barely, might not even fully cover, but it'll barely cover majority of the vein when you go to do it, which I don't mind doing, just because there is so much in the world to be able to pick up that it might not matter at all how much you get per vein. I know that, I'm pretty sure I remember reading somewhere about the fact that Minecraft's no longer an unlimitedly large world as it used to be, and it actually has a size now. Which is kind of an interesting to think about, that they finally decided to cap it instead of letting you go to, I think it was called the Far Lands or something like that, where the world generation started to mess up and not work properly. On the bright side, as we get back, our boule should be done, and we should be able to grab it on out. So let's go ahead and stick all of this in the crusher. Might as well honestly stick this stuff in the crusher too, to go through afterwards. And we didn't get very many green sapphires, which is kind of interesting. But that will go ahead and crush away. We can take out our boule here. Let that continue on a bit more, and now we take that on over. It uses 20, and now it will only take 20 seconds instead of, I believe the recipe for that is immensely longer than that. But with that, that lets us start to engrave different chipsets onto silicone wafers. So yeah, if we look at that, to make it this way is 20 seconds. It's 30 seconds with distilled water, or 40 seconds with regular water. And that doesn't seem like a lot, but it ends up turning into a lot later on. So now that we've got that, that passes off. Oh, I guess we gotta pick this machine up really quick. Alright. And now we can put them back in there. And there is that. So we need a ruby lens and then an emerald lens. I don't think I've gotten any of the sifted ones there. How rare is this? It's a 3% chance. So it is a very rare chance we're going to get that. So in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. I'm going to get together some that we didn't get any of it there. I'm gonna get me a... How much is a MV sifter? Sifter. Again, it's the circuits. It's the circuits. It's the circuits. Do we have any to actually make more? Do. Yeah, give me a second to get back. I'm going to go ahead and make that lathe. As, even if I make the other one, I believe it only doubles the chance or something like that. With each one. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We got it. We got the exquisite emerald, which means we can now put this on the lathe. Let's make sure we do this right. Lathe to get ourselves the emerald lens that we need. And this is never consumed in the crafting. So that is going to take 120 seconds, but we don't have to make a whole nother set of machines. That is awesome. I was not expecting to have that happen on camera. I was expecting to, you know, have to go and do the thing where I make plates and just wait for it to sift enough emeralds for me to get what we needed. And we even got another flawless emerald, which was used to make the thing for the laser engraver. But we can, once we get that out, we can actually start cutting out some stuff off that. Where's our silicon at? And then here's the other thing. It looks like our vanadium steel is now done. How much? I'm gonna get these going while we wait for our little thing here, and I can always get ready to start up what I wanted to later. So the last, I guess the thing I wanted to look up is that we got these, the next coil that we have to go through. It wants Canthal coil. Oh, that's right, we did need the blue one so that we could do this. Because to make this hatch, you have to have that. But I did want to look up, why is it telling us that we need that before we can get the Canthal coils? Is that because... MV chemical bath is required to cool hot ingots. Yeah, we know that. Is that because Canthal itself requires? No. It does. That's why I see. I got it. Cool. So the reason that we need that is because to get the Canthal heated up enough, you have to have HV power input. I see. So with us getting sapphires out, we can put those in our sifter now. We do need enough output, so we'll go ahead and take those out and put the gems over in here. And we'll let it do its thing. If we get another one, that's going to be pretty crazy. But we should have this finished. There is our emerald lens. And now I only want to do 4. We're going to do 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. And doing that, over 45 seconds, we'll get the RAM wafer. Once that is done, I know that we need to put it back in the advanced cutter to actually cut them out. And it'll give us the 32 RAM chips, which will get closer towards making us the first HV circuit. And it's the red one, the ruby, which unfortunately I used the ruby to get something else, and I don't remember what it was. But I might have a bunch more up on the hill that I can go for off camera. Because I'm not going to make you wait around for forever on a 3 or 5% chance, depending on what it is, as that is a long time for that. So we are almost done here, right? We got our very first one. So that'll put that there, and then if we put it into the saw, again, it uses a bunch, but it cuts down the recipe a lot. As it looks like with that RAM wafer, if... oh, that's right. Turn that off. We don't want to stop doing that. So with that RAM wafer, let's look it up. So if we do not do that, what is it? What it ends up being 67.5 seconds. That's a long time to wait for those. And I know we're going to be waiting a while to get anything else out of this, but that was kind of the plan. I'm going to have to make a second one of these once I get off of here, because I don't think I want the one that's going to have nitrogen go in, as I don't think it's worthwhile if we do it in the electric blast furnace. Oh no, it does speed it up. No, it doesn't. And that's the only way to make it. So there's no point in having anything go in there. And it just needs a minimum of copper nickel with a temperature of that, which means it will actually be faster once we get Kanthal. And I do plan on doing both of the blast furnace when I get a second one up in Kanthal, as the blast furnace are the ones that are really going to be time restrained, whereas the ones down below, we got the fuel. We're going to have tons of fuel, and if we are running out of fuel, again, we could just recycle the charcoal into it. Oh, I'm so excited. I am like actually giddy right now. And we got our first set of RAM. Now, again, these are really kind of useless, so it's funny that we got it right away, but they're kind of useless until we get to the extra energy stuff. Exquisite sapphire, yes! Not there, into our basic lathe to get our sapphire lens. That's exciting, because this was where I really wanted to head to get to our leveled up version of the EBF, which we can now start working towards that. We're going to need 2 of them. So let's go ahead and grab the stuff we need to make that. We need, for the energy hatch, we need a coil. We need 2 of them, so we're going to need 4 per. So we'll get 2 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we've got exactly what we need there. Come on, throw those in here. I think those were to go up there, so we're going to just plop them in up there. Once that's done, we can have our 2 steel rods tossed on in. And we put those right back over again. This episode is going to go a little bit long, but this was the goal of this episode, was to press on through to get Kanthal. So, I guess we are going to actually have to do the Kanthal coils in a separate episode. I just realized we're going to have to get ourselves an MV chemical bath. Even if it's just to put water into it, like that, we need it. Has to be done. But to get both of those, like I want to look that up again. So it's a 5% chance. That is insane. Because that was off of only like, what, 16 of them? The first one was off of 5? I think it was technically off of 8, because I did 3 more previously to get the flawless emerald I needed for the MV emitter here, but like, oh. And now that we've got the lens and the sapphire dust out of there, we can get our rods. I still want to either way be able to upgrade it, because it's going to be one of those things. It's going to make our lives a lot easier. So let's get that in there. Let it start powering itself up. We'll wait for that to finish both of those. And in the meantime, let's get our steel dust out. Toss that on into there to finish up later. And there is our second Silicon Boule. So we got our aluminum wire. I think I made way more than I thought I needed, but that's fine. We do need the other assembler, I believe. Yes, it must be the MV assembler. So we're going to have to wait for this to finish 1. Oh, it's got to finish the current one. And take that out. Toss into the assembler this. And that. You know, if I charge the rod, that would be a smart idea. Simple task. Simple task. I do think it's kind of funny how much it really doesn't matter how much you charge those up. But I am going to want more of these, as I would like to switch up eventually all of my machines into MV inputs, as it will be way nicer to do so. So there's one. And two. So, with that, we need the copper wires. We need... My question is, I have enough to mine this out. I really don't want to lose this recipe, so let's grab out all the other stuff. I am out of inventory space. Grab that out. While we wait, let us get 2 of those on the way. Oh boy, so excited here. I do think we need to just put them together, slap them together like that. No? Oh, that's right. We needed our things. So we gotta wait for this to finish up, which won't be too long. That's the best part. Especially considering this is the one we've got to wait the longest for. I think I left the steel in there. Probably not a good idea to do that. There is that circuit. And we could leave that in there. I just want to get this cut up so we can get it going. I know it's going to hate me for that, but... Again, 45 seconds. Create the chest that I was originally going to use for that bat box, and we'll just wait and hold on to it for now. Well, that was not what I wanted to do in the slightest. But with those chips cut up, we can then get our thing replaced. I wonder if it will actually reduce the time at all. I'm kind of hoping that it does. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of pages. I will go ahead and cut it for a second. We'll be back once we got these MV coils down. Just because I'm not going to make you sit here and wait that long for the things that we're trying to get done here. Because it'll be very slow to do so. Be right back. Alright, so that one's undone. We are going to go ahead and craft out one more, because it'd make the stuff to be able to have that. So we got that on the bottom, that on top, MV energy hatches. So we'll come back around here. We'll pick out 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to take this bat box out. I'm hoping all those batteries stack because... Yep, okay. We're good. So now, for the time being, we're going to have to just pipe it directly in. Which it gave me some annealed copper wire, and I didn't realize that those were actually a better transfer method than the other one. But now that we've got that, we can clip... Where is the clippers? Clippers. And I believe it will tell us that it's now trying to do it at HV. I don't think I have another Engraver casing anywhere. If I do, we can test out it being MV only. Because I realize that we're going to have the issue now where it's not going to work. Because I don't have a second... oh, what's it called? I don't have a second generator on it. I thought I would have an extra casing somewhere. Is there one in my backpack, maybe? Not that. Oh my goodness. All of the different buttons are getting pressed, so nothing in there. And nothing in there. I wonder if you make exactly the amount that you need. So, Envar casing. Oh, that's easy. We could do that in a flash. So, if I do... I thought we had Envar over here. Oh no, it's in my X-ray. It's just Envar. So we need 4 and then 6 plates. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 plates. And we can remove this one for the time being. Put in a new energy plate. And then that should run smoother to begin with. But we do need to add the extra MV energy hatch later, as it is required. That MV energy hatch is required to do the HV recipe to get what we need. But with that, now, I don't know if this actually runs it any better. This might have not been that necessary, but we can clip our wires if we grab out the clippers. Only that one's actually going to work it, but now it is wired up using the MV energy ports, which is fantastic. And now I can pull out all of the aluminum I have here. I filled up the nitrogen barrel a bit more, and we're going to start burning through aluminum, getting ourselves on our way. Oh, I wanted to see if we could get one. I went up to the mountain and grabbed my rubies, and I've been letting them run through the ore washer. So if we grab out the ruby, we might be able to get another. We'll give it one sift. If it doesn't work, then I'll just let it keep going afterwards. But 5% chance twice within a handful was amazing. Can we get it? Oh, close. Close. That one's a 15% chance one. Well, on that note, we'll be back next time. Thank you for watching, and we will get through those Canthal coils next so that we can actually get moving towards the stainless steel and wrapping up this way to progress into new circuits. Thank you guys for watching. Bye!